Oh, hey, my name is Rick.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. My name is Billy.
And this is episode 50
Cinquanta.
of season 2
Due.
of
Yonks Ago. Ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa. Yeah, the boys.
Remix. This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey, ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey, ho, hey, surely. All right, here we are, episode 50, and I believe we've done our checks, we've done our precautionary listens, and I think we've got our sound situation sorted out.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Apologies once more, Yonky Doodlers, for what was a disastrous first 20 minutes or so of last episode, where it was just like listening to us. We may as well have rigged up tin cans from our kitchen into other people's lounge rooms or wherever they're listening to them. I imagine they're gathered around the wireless listening to our
for sure.
our stories.
Yeah.
But today, all
We're actually speaking into our microphones.
Well, we spoke. To be fair, we spoke into our microphones last time.
Yeah,
because those microphones were not at all running through the laptop in any perceivable way. And the laptop was like, "It's fine, I got this.
Yeah,
I've got my own microphone.
Chill, guys.
You don't need those fancy microphones. Check me out."
The computer's like, guys, never mind.
It's fine. It's fine. But look, hey, listen to us now. The sound quality better. The content quality same. It's just the same.
I don't know. Last episode, I just remember it being pretty good.
I know. That's why we didn't even bother to re-record any of it.
I was like, Dad, that's some of my best stuff right there.
We were spinning gold. Yeah. Like we were magical spiders. And so we had to keep it in. Hey, sometimes you got to suffer through poor quality for good quality.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know.
Some parks have swings. Other parks have roundabouts. Which park are you going to go to? It's up to you.
Swings.
Every day.
Yeah.
Roundabouts.
Stuff. Roundabouts. What are those? Aren't they roundabouts on a road?
I guess maybe you drive to the park via a roundabout to get to the swings.
You got those spinny thingies, but I don't think they're called roundabouts.
Well, they must have been back in the day when people were making up sayings. Do people still make up sayings?
Isn't it? Yeah.
You know how there's all like sayings? And they're all like,
course.
swings and roundabouts, or don't count your chickens before they hatch. Or hold your horses. Like there's all these sayings, but I feel like they're from ages ago.
Yeah.
Are today's sayings just like, I don't know, like what we consider like modern day talk?
Did hold your horses
like lol? Is that a modern day saying?
Hold your horses. Does that come from the word stable? Because that's where you hold your horses, and it's like be stable.
Yeah, I also think it's like if you don't hold your horses, they'll run off. With no direction. So before you let your horses bolt. You've got to hold your horses while we figure out what's going on.
Facts.
And then hop on your horse and go in the designated direction.
Yeah. Which is one direction.
So look, I'm just going to double check that our sound's good. Because I'm real nervous. You already did though. I know, but I want to double check.
Okay.
And through the magic of editing, I have just checked and we all agree. Sounds adequate.
I know.
We're nailing it. So look, we're recording on a Wednesday, FYI.
Wednesday, also known as mercoledì.
Yes.
In the Italian language.
Not our usual day. We just got caught up. It's hard to schedule.
I was watching Hamilton.
Yeah, Millie was watching Hamilton and did not want, for the second time.
For the third time. I already seen it. More like the fifth time.
She's seen it heaps.
Yeah.
And so she didn't want, look, sometimes podcast is like drops down the pecking order.
Yeah.
She's also TikTok famous now, and that.
Yeah, I mean, not to brag, but
your quality content is reaching the people.
Yeah.
Not just this podcast.
As it should.
But now you're proper TikTok famous in my mind, and more power to you.
Thank you.
While it lasts.
Well, you're TikTok famous as well. You're in the TikTok that is TikTok famous.
True. Hey, together we once again.
Anyway, follow me on TikTok, Millie_Metherall.
Is that really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like something with like heaps of wives.
No, that's like the name.
I see.
But they're using the handle that. I
well,
mean, keep
did
up.
I just boomer myself or what? But let's get someone who would have been TikTok famous if she'd had the chance. Nancy Wake.
Yeah, for sure.
Where was she? Where is she? What's going on?
I don't know.
I'll tell you a quick recap. Last episode, in between sound issues, Nancy took on a mission. Her and the squad, Henri the Second, had to destroy an armament and munition warehouse.
Yeah.
And they had to tackle some guards at the gate.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I remember now.
And it got hectic.
Oh, the MCG.
Yeah,
at the
MMCG.
Yeah, that's what I've been picturing it outside the MCG.
Yeah, so she went to the
Getting
MMCG.
slaughtered outside the MCG.
And had to disable some guards, but the guards saw her coming just when she was about 5 meters away, swung the bayonet in her direction, but she brought a Nancy Wake karate chop into that guard's neck, and that guard dropped like a sack of spuds, dead at her feet, but not before his bayonet sliced a gash.
Meet the business end of a bayonet.
That's right.
That's some Hamilton lyrics for you.
Right up Nancy Wake's arm.
Yeah.
So look, they've taken Nancy away. The mission was a success, but Nancy woke up in the village. She passed out from blood loss.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, they had a friendly doctor in the nearby village who established...
Imagine if he was unfriendly.
Yeah, it was just a really deep wound and stitched her up. Otherwise, she feels she might have died of blood loss or even gangrene.
What's gangrene?
When your wound gets mouldy.
Gross.
It gets infected.
Yeah, I've had an infected wound.
Yeah, you got gangrene.
Yeah.
I think that's if it gets real bad.
Yeah, I didn't die.
No, lucky.
Yeah.
Unless this is heaven.
Because I went to the Dottore and they gave me antibiotics.
Maybe you did die and this is heaven where you get to be TikTok
I
famous.
don't think this is heaven.
Well, maybe it's just the first layer. And you've got to conquer this layer of heaven to get to the next layer.
Is it an onion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven is an onion. That's why it makes you cry with tears of joy. I do like cooking onions.
Yeah. I like eating onions.
You do? You don't even have to cook them and you're like, give me that onion.
Yeah, any onion. I'll eat.
Name an onion.
Pickled onion? Yep, give it to me.
Pickled onion? Yes.
Yeah.
Spring onions?
Yep.
Oh, any day.
Red onion. Give it to me.
Red onion, why wouldn't you?
White onion?
White salad onion?
Is it called a white onion?
Yeah, white onion.
Yeah, white onion.
You'll have one.
Yeah, I'll eat
What
it.
about a brown onion?
Are they the same? Aren't they the same?
No, white onion's different. It's tricky. There's white salad onions. We use red onions in our salad.
Yeah.
So the white salad onion doesn't really get a look in our house.
But the white ones for your snags that you put on.
I reckon that's brown onion. But
yeah, well, because you cook it and it turns brown, but it starts white.
No, it starts at the brown case.
Yeah, so then what's a white? And then you peel it back and it's white.
Yeah, but white onions start in a white case.
I've never seen that.
And red onions start in a red case.
Okay.
That's how I know it to be.
What? I've never seen a white case.
I've been wrong before. Yes, because we never get them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, okay. But I like all onions. That's what I'm saying. I don't discriminate the onions.
Let's start a new podcast. That's just onion talk.
I'd do it.
We'll get to the bottom of onions. Anyway, after this was all over, her mission, and she was safely back in her quarters with her arm heavily bandaged.
Yeah.
With all the others, and they had assured themselves that she was quite all right. They'd headed off to celebrate the destruction of the armament store. They love a party. Every win deserves a party when you're in the Kelly gang.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. And she was then reflecting on what had happened.
Oh, yeah, as you do.
Because
she's got a dear
killed a man with her bare hands.
Yeah. As you do. I mean, I've done that.
Yeah. And she was left in there, all bandaged up, to wonder how she had gotten to this point in her life.
Okay.
How had she become so aggressive?
Do we have a flashback?
And she basically had a little flashback episode.
Little montage of her life.
And she had a little flashback of all the bad things she'd been through and all the things she'd seen the Germans do.
So if you want a flashback, just listen back to our old episodes.
Yeah, where she first goes into Germany, into Berlin, and she sees them mistreating the Jews, and she vows to cause mischief.
Oh, Germans!
Yeah, and she sees all the things that the Germans have been doing and all the things she's suffered. All of this is in her montage.
Yeah.
In her flashback.
Her trying to get over the mountains for like 10 years.
Yeah, and that's when, and she's like, well, that's how I became this aggressive. That's how I got to the point where I could kill someone with my bare hands and not really be that bothered about it. Because she realised, thinking about it, she's not that bothered. And so who even is she? And she realises this is what she's become.
This is wartime Nancy.
Because what the wartime has brought out in her.
Yes.
You're right. This is wartime Nancy.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at wartime Nancy.
No, I can't.
She's just doing what's got to be done.
Yeah.
And so she's made peace with that through the power of a wonderful festive flashback montage
Yeah.
full of pain and anguish and suffering.
Yep.
And then I'll tell you what, to go with that mood of that flashback, sad, anguish-filled montage.
Is there a song?
I feel like if this was a musical, definitely a song
Yeah.
because it's raining. It rains for like 2 weeks now.
Rain men.
While she's recovering with her arm.
Hallelujah.
Yes, but instead of men, little droplets of water.
Yeah. I mean, just as good.
Yeah. And so they're out in the forest now. They're out in the forest. It's raining for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Mud everywhere. Her bus is bogged in the mud. Everything's wet. Everyone's crowded into her bus because it's the only dry
Yeah.
place in camp. They can't even make crepes.
Oh, Trev's out of work, out of business.
Too wet to keep the crepe station going.
That's a bit upsetting.
It's a sad time.
That is upsetting.
In the Kelly Gang history.
Yeah.
Crepeless.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you even Kelly Gang if you're not getting crepes?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And so they're like, you know what? Enough is enough. Because they're like, hey, we're out here, it's stuck in the mud, but it's very quiet. Nothing's happening. The
Yeah.
Germans are also staying out of the rain.
Yeah.
But they're like, or are they? Maybe there's not that many Germans left.
Oh.
Is it time to just come out of the forest?
Yeah.
Why are we hiding like badgers?
I don't know.
Why are we the raccoons? Just cowering in the forest. Let's get out. Let's get out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
And so like, let's go
I
find
agree.
ourselves a proper house.
Okay.
There's got to be one.
Okay. There's got Henri's house, unless.
I mean, Marseille is free.
Yeah, I know.
And so the feeling starts to grow in them. It is time to come out of the forest.
Yep.
And so Nancy
Set
and
that.
Trev discuss that they should go and find an empty house and move in.
I reckon.
And then they hear that there's a place nearby that's absolutely ideal. It's a sprawling, abandoned chateau.
Yes, it
called
is.
Frognay.
It is called Frognay. Of course it is.
It's in an isolated spot about 10 kilometres out of Montluçon.
Montluçon.
So they went over, they cased it out, checked it out.
Yeah, got a good kitchen, good stove,
They did
frying pan.
They had a little inspection.
Yeah.
And they looked it over and they're like, bloody perfect.
How many bedrooms?
Look, here's the cons.
Okay.
It had no electricity or running water.
Okay.
That's a con.
That is a con.
That counts
is
against it.
2 cons.
But it is wartime and they have been living in a forest.
Yeah. So, I mean,
They haven't been,
swings and roundabouts.
they have not been operating with either of those things thus far.
Yeah.
But they've also been living in the mud and with the rain.
Yeah.
And this has got
Any shelter is good shelter.
Exactly. And it was so old that it had never had electricity or running water. So it's not like it just wasn't working. It just wasn't even set up for that.
No.
But in the cons, solid. It was solid.
In the cons?
No, sorry, pros.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a bit confused.
I got confused. In the pros. So cons, no electricity or running water.
Yeah.
But in the pros,
Yeah.
solid as a rock.
Yeah.
And it was well away from the roads frequented by German patrols.
Good.
And the caretaker who lived in a small cottage at the gate was on their side.
Oh, nice. What's the caretaker's name, do you reckon, Dad?
It doesn't say.
No, you. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking you.
But it does say here that the upshot was that they were in like Flynn. You know how else was in there? The caretaker. So I guess his name is Flynn.
Flynn.
Like
you fling yourself off a bridge.
in like Flynn.
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 Okay, why
It's
do you...
another old saying. It's another old saying. I think it's in like Errol Flynn.
Wait, I'm confused. I don't know what just happened.
Oh, it says here the upshot of all of them deciding whether
Yeah.
whether this place was good enough was that they decided they were in like Flynn.
I don't know what that means.
And they're going to move in.
In like Flynn.
Yeah.
In like Flynn. I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, Silver.
It took me a while. I'm a bit slow.
We got there, and I imagine that's referring to the fact that the caretaker's name is Flynn.
Yeah.
I think we've
For sure.
solved the case.
For sure.
Although we made it so awkward that there was not the seamless segue that I hoped it would be, and I'm a bit embarrassed with the whole way that played out. But you get what you get.
Yeah.
Especially when you go to a park and you didn't have to go through a roundabout to get to the swings.
Yeah. Oh, but a roundabout's good, eh?
And so on the 20th of August,
Oh,
1944.
that's really close to Nancy Wake's birthday.
True. The whole lot of them moved in
threw mattresses on the floor. They hung up their clothes to dry in front of the roaring fires.
Yeah.
And as the rain continued to pelt down outside, how good would that feel?
That would feel nice.
There's nothing like being
Listening-
warm and cozy.
And listening to the rain outside. Yeah,
That is the best, and especially when they were so recently stuck in that rain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Imagine if I was in the rain right now. Well, sucked in, I'm not.
And so Nancy says, having spent most of the previous 4 months organising death and destructions on the Germans, she now organised the Kelly gang to wield mops and brooms to clean that place out good and proper.
Yeah.
And there was a well out the back that they used for cleaning, and only a couple of days in, they've got the fires going, and this place was looking schmick.
Yeah, it was.
And Nancy says it was wonderful. Sounds wonderful. Absolutely magnificent. Just to be in a solid structure again. It wasn't the Ritz, but it felt like it after what they'd been through. Exactly.
Yeah.
I reckon there's got to be a business idea in that. Like
What?
putting people in really terrible stuff, and then
Yeah.
at the end of it, they get to stay in somewhere good.
Yeah. But then they think it's like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to
No.
be good. So you spend a week in like leaky tent
Yeah.
with no fire.
That's not nice.
You go like you're on like the first few days of Survivor.
Yeah.
You do that. So you do that until you're getting like just to the point where you're like, this is the worst. Why am I doing this? And then
Yeah.
they're like, ta-da! And now they show you into just like a nice motel
Yeah.
that's got a heater.
I'd be happy.
And you're like, oh, how good's this motel? I don't know. We can make a buck because people like to do stuff that makes them suffer as well.
Yeah, yeah.
People are crazy.
Oh, good experience.
Yeah. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, I wanted to see how strong-willed I was.
And I was not very strong-willed. I lasted 20 hours.
That's not bad.
That's not bad in the
But I
wet.
mean, like, come on.
Make an effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've gone from a very low point in the Kelly Gang history to just about the happiest they've ever been.
Yeah.
Hoi.
Do you reckon they were singing, like, on their mattresses, like the group song? I reckon they were.
They did all that stuff.
I reckon.
Yeah. My eyes are dim, I cannot see.
I have not brought my specs with me. I have not brought my spectacles with me. That was beautiful.
And then her name was Nancy. Nancy, she was really fancy in the store.
In the store.
In the store.
In the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was Trev.
Oh,
it's a tough one.
No, I don't.
Making crepes for Kev in the store.
In the store.
In the store.
In the store.
There was Henri,
The
as
second.
happy as can be.
In the store. In the store.
See, all night they could have done
Yeah.
this.
With everyone, and there was a lot of them.
There's heaps of them. Good times.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we're saying. Look, one of the best things about their new situation, apparently, was that the grounds of the chateau were so extensive they could be used for dropping crates.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even have to go anywhere to get crates.
That's awesome. That's going in the pros list.
Yeah. And this was no small thing, given that the drops were coming thick and fast now. So they were just landing in the backyard.
Yeah.
That is a sweet deal. And so while everything's going well, then it was time for a pause for a great celebration. 2 celebrations, in fact.
Whoa.
Because just a short while after they moved into their new house,
What's happened?
Paris liberated.
Yes, it is.
Paris
I
is
knew it was coming.
free.
That's awesome.
And that basically means France is free. Once
Yeah.
Paris is free,
I mean, true.
what are you going to do? Hold on to, what, Lyon? Get stuffed. Get stuffed. Paris or get out. That's the German motto. So they're stoked. They're like, well, that deserves a celebration. So apparently, the Allied armies, you know who came through.
Oh, Max and the Patch.
Max and the Patch came
We know.
through. And when the
Fight
French
scene on the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah.
don't you reckon? Don't you reckon?
Max lands on top of the
Yeah.
Eiffel Tower, lets out a right,
Yeah.
mighty roar, burst of fire.
Yeah.
And the French resistance movement rise as
Yeah.
one.
But like if it was a movie, Max. Wait, is Max the dragon?
Yes.
Yeah. Max and the Patch. Patch would have fallen off, and then Max would have gone and had to save him if it was a movie.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
Just yeah.
That happens every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever they are. Because in the last episode, Patch had to
Yeah.
jump off the cliff
Yeah.
to convince Max to fly.
Yeah, because it was A bit scared.
So in every episode, Max falls somehow. Patch falls somehow.
I keep thinking Max is the... Oh, well. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So the French resistance movement see Max roaring on top of the Eiffel Tower. They rise up, and there was only a ragtag bunch of Germans left in there, and they were not motivated.
No. I'll just leave.
Yeah. So on the 25th of August, a column of American and Free French troops entered the city to find only the few shattered Germans remaining and the people literally dancing in the streets to meet them. As soon as the following day, Colonel Bucky Buckmaster himself landed in Paris.
We love him.
To survey the ground and coordinate the rest of the SOE activities.
Beautiful.
Oh. But down in the chateau outside Montluçon, in the share house, the Caligang share house.
What was it called? It didn't have a name?
No.
Yeah, it was something started with F, I reckon.
Oh, Flynn.
No.
Frogny.
Yeah.
Frogner. The Frogner Chateau.
Yeah.
I just think of it as the Caligang share house. I think that's what they came to know it as well.
Yeah. But I knew it had a name.
So in the Frogny, the Caligang share house, outside Montluçon, they toasted the wonderful news 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times 3 into the night. That's 9 times.
Quick maths.
And then on to the celebration that Nancy would cherish every single moment since. It was the 30th of August, 1944.
Isn't that her birthday, or is she the 31st?
No, that is correct. As you've been saying, we had been coming ever closer to Nancy's birthday, and this is it.
Yeah.
Guess how old she is in 1944?
Oh,
quick maths,
no, I can't do the quick maths.
What you gonna do when it comes for you? Quick maths.
If it was...
when was she
34,
born?
She's 34.
When was she born?
Is she 34?
No.
Is that close, though?
32. She was born in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
She was born in 2012.
I just did maths wrong.
1912, and it's now 1944.
I was close.
32 years.
Yeah.
It's her 32nd birthday.
Yeah.
Nancy came back from organising a drop at a distant airfield. Oh, geez, so she's not getting them all the crates in her front yard. To find that a surprise luncheon had been organised in her honour.
Who organised it?
Guess who? Henri II.
Yeah, I thought so.
Henri then invited Nancy to follow him to the rear steps of the chateau.
If only Henri showed up, that'd be the best. That'd be the best
surprise
birthday ever.
He presented her with a huge bouquet of flowers.
Nice.
She held them in her left arm, but was obliged to do something else entirely with her right arm. She had to stand up straight and salute.
Yes.
All of the Cali Gang members were marching past her like a platoon and saluting her, and she had to salute them back. And she was astounded by the sheer number of Cali Gang men who were walking past her. They just kept coming and coming, and she started to think, how are we going to feed all these men? They've all come to my party. That's a lot of supplies.
Trev's like, I got you.
I got you, babe. But then, as is like 15 minutes into the procession, she's there is too many people here.
Yeah.
Suddenly she recognised one of the beaming men saluting her as one of the men who had already saluted her at the start of the procession.
Oh, they've gone in a circle.
They were doing a little loop-de-loop
to
see how long she would stand there and salute them. Jips and japes before the crepes.
That's funny.
And once she realised, she started laughing herself silly. It was, after all...
There was only like 10 of them. They were just doing a circle.
Yeah, it was
like 3.
There was a reasonable amount of Cali Gang members there so that they could all get a decent lunch.
Yeah.
And then Nancy gave a very unmilitary hug to Henri II for his thoughtfulness and the honour that he had bestowed upon her. And then the whole lot of them went inside for lunch and more toasts and celebrations. And everyone had brought her a little gift.
Aww.
Oh, they must have been searching in the villages for ages, she said. And the Spaniards, who didn't have a penny to spend, had gathered wildflowers, all the wildflowers they could find in the forest, and wrapped them in a Spanish flag.
That's nice.
And one of the bodyguards had written her a poem.
Oh, that's cute.
It was very touching. She is basically having the greatest birthday that she's ever had.
Only Henri would make it better, and her dog. Only that.
True. And then shortly after the party,
maybe a pig to cut up, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if they had wheeled in a pig, a live pig for her to smack with a hammer, But how would they know how much she enjoyed smacking pigs
Only
with
if
hammers?
she told them. Like,
guess.
they did spend a lot of nights together.
It would have come up on a drunken night in the
Yeah.
bus. Because
Yeah.
it's the bouncing bus of honesty as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They definitely played I Never, and she definitely
Yeah.
said...
Never have I ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone said, I've never hit a pig with a hammer, and she was the only one to scull.
Yeah. Sure.
Only shortly after this party, Nancy was awoken one morning by one of the Americans, Johnny Allsop,
Oh.
telling her that she had to wake up because the entire German army was coming up the driveway.
Oh, that's not good.
Nancy looked out the window from her second floor bedroom, and it was clear that Johnny Allsop was correct. At the very least, there was an enormous convoy of Germans
Okay, that's a bit scary.
passing by their front gate. The convoy seemed to go on without end. But far from being an aggressive force, it was clearly the German garrison were pulling out of Mont-Lasson. They were yeeting.
Oh, okay.
It was the German yeet patrol. They were not there to fight.
No.
They wanted no trouble.
That'd be silly. I would try to fight Nancy and her gang. Silly boys.
And so they were just watching all these Germans get out of town. So there was no fight to be had. So all of them in the house just laid low.
Yeah.
Because they were also like, we could have a little fight,
But like.
but I mean, I feel like we've done enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Paris is free.
Yeah.
These guys just want to get out.
Yeah.
We're hungover.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just
let 'em
a bit of
go.
shush.
Yeah.
Everyone just shush.
Yeah.
And we'll let them go, and then we'll celebrate.
Yeah.
We can celebrate some more.
Yeah.
As the victory of the letting them go.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, all the Germans in Vichy also retreated. Everyone's getting out of France. France is free.
This
Let
is
it
awesome.
be known.
This is awesome.
I mean, they needed, and it wasn't just that they were retreating from France because that was a lost cause. They also were basically getting called back to Berlin because they needed to defend Germany now.
Yeah.
They were no longer on the attack. They were
No.
like, we've got to go into defense mode.
Yeah.
We've heard
Back
tell
to base.
there's a bloody dragon coming for us. Everyone back to Berlin and start building dragon-proof bloody barriers.
Yeah.
Because the Max and the Patch,
They're coming.
they're heading for us.
Yeah.
So it's defense mode for the Germans and freedom for France.
That's awesome.
I feel like that is probably all the time we've got for this incredibly
Surely
good-sounding
we see
episode.
Henri next episode.
I feel like we're definitely very close. Oh, look, what are we? We're 50 episodes in. I feel like it'd be nice to finish on the 52nd episode. So we've had like 52 episodes, which one a week is like a year's worth of Nancy.
Yeah,
Wake.
that is nice. But then we also have the wrap-up episode.
I do. We do
So it's
have
like
the wrap.
53. But is that a prime number?
I
I reckon that is a prime number.
Why wouldn't it be? Don't dig too deep. Don't do quick
I
maths.
think it's a prime.
53, lock it in.
Yeah.
Bada bing. 53.
Yeah. So
53 would be a nice number. All right,
Yeah.
so let's stop now. I reckon we've probably got 2 more episodes of content
yeah.
to finish off the
Are
Nancy
you
Wake
ready
story.
for the wrap-up episode?
I am not at all ready for the wrap up
Do you
episode.
need help?
But we are going into 6 weeks of lockdown.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not really any different for us. Our life continues.
I never leave the house, so
nah.
it's been pretty similar.
Yeah, I mean, you still get to go out. Like, you're going to school.
Oh.
You've got a rich, full life
Yeah.
to live. So, we'll see how we go. But I really must turn my focus to getting the Nancy Wake wrap up song organised.
There are a lot of things.
So many Henris to work into the song. It's not going to be easy.
No.
There's three of them.
If you were unsure.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you
Thank you.
for sticking with us, for coming back after last week's abomination.
Yeah.
Sound-wise, hopefully we've made up for it. If not with content quality, at least with sound quality.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can continue our good run of sound quality in the next episode of
Yonks Ago!